This One's Wife. The Bug. Meghan, dirty and disgusting as ever. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. It's time to dissect yet another episode in the grand theatre of self-absorption that is this one's wife's life. Narcissism. It's not just a personality quirk. It is a constructed empire built on fuel, that intoxicating elixir of attention, admiration and control. And when that empire shows cracks, oh, how the mighty fall. Today I'm turning my gaze to a seemingly innocuous promotional video which I'm sure you've come across in relation to her lifestyle brand, As Ever, a name that drips with ironic perpetuity, as if her reign of relevance will never end. But alas, in this tale of tea, treats and tiny trespassers, we uncover the hallmarks of the narcissist once again. The obsession with image over substance, the blind spots for flaws that puncture the perfect facade, and a pattern of poor hygiene that speaks volumes about this one's wife's entitled disregard for the mundane realities that bind lesser mortals. Not only will I be examining the incident that has occurred, but it points to a wider picture of a pattern of behaviour in relation to this one's wife. Let's start with the incident at hand, drawn from the factual bedrock of a Daily Mail expose that captures the Duchess of Sussex in all her curated glory. This One's Wife released a trailer for the second season of her Netflix opus With Love, Meghan, alongside promotional snippets for As Ever. In one such Instagram story, now vanished of course like a ghost after 24 hours, almost as if it were to evade accountability, we see her brewing tea beside a plate of shortbread cookies adorned with jam and those bastard flower sprinkles. Foliage sprigs add that rustic charm, evoking a Monty shitshow idyll far removed from the gritty world beyond. But eagle-eyed watchers, those unsung heroes of truth-seeking, spotted a slightly disturbing detail. A tiny insect scuttling across the plate, weaving between the biscuits like an uninvited critic at a premiere. The backlash was swift and savage, as you would expect. On X, somebody wrote, "There's literally a bug crawling around on the plate. You would think this one's wife would notice this before posting," one user exclaimed. Others chimed in with "ew" and "OMG, there is a bug." Even defenders acknowledged the inevitability of outdoor dining mishaps in summer, but questioned how such a blunder slipped into a polished brand post. After all, doesn't this one's wife have a freakish eye for detail, as she likes to tell us? One observer stated, "When I'm filming to publish, I check every little detail," one noted pointedly. However, we know with this one's wife, it's not the detail that matters, although she proclaims that it is. It's about the effect. As always, the pursuit of the prime aims, the rush to control, to draw the fuel, to manage the facade. She doesn't look in the detail because simply she doesn't care. The permanent feed featured a similar photo, with the As Ever team getting creative in the garden with our shortbread cookie mix, flour sprinkles and delicious fruit spreads. Perfect for tea time or any time. No bug in sight on that occasion, but the damage was already done. From the narcissistic perspective, this is pure gold. This one's wife, like many narcissists, thrives on the projection of an infallible facade. It's the shiny armour that shields the fragile construct within from the harsh light of reality. Grandiosity whispers, "I am above the petty concerns of insects or editing." Attention to detail, that's for the minions, the peons, the enablers, those that orbit her like planets around a self-proclaimed sun. In her world, the video isn't about authenticity. It's a fuel harvesting machine, designed to draw admiration for her aesthetic lifestyle, The bug? A mere oversight in the rush to broadcast her perfection. But oversights like this betray the narcissist's core, a profound lack of empathy and self-awareness. She doesn't see the bug because she's not looking at the plate. She's gazing at her reflection in the camera lens, ensuring every frame screams, "Admire me." This isn't isolated vanity, it's a symptom of the narcissistic blind spot. I've explained how narcissists create their reality to exclude anything that threatens control. This One's Wife's brand, as ever, is an extension of this, a commodified version of her persona, selling jams, sprinkles, and the illusion of approachable royalty. Yet the insect intrusion reveals the cracks. It's entertaining, isn't it? Here she is, hosting celebrities like Chrissy Teigen, about whom I've spoken separately, in her false home on a rented California estate near her Monty Shit Show mansion, prepping snacks, revealing Harry's aversion to lobster, and waxing poetic. I love these moments of discovery and beauty, so let's be curious together. Curious indeed about how a bug evaded her discovery. But let's not just stop at this buggy biscuit. To truly appreciate the narcissistic pattern, we must link it to other instances where this one's wife's hygiene practices, or more accurately lack thereof, have raised eyebrows. Certain narcissists exhibit a cavalier attitude towards hygiene because it requires humility and routine, traits which are opposed to their entitled worldview. They will demand spotlessness from others while excusing their own lapses, all, of course, to maintain their own perceived notion of control and superiority. Do you remember the 2018 reports where this one's wife reportedly went ballistic over poor hygiene ratings at a hospital's maternity wing during her pregnancy with Archie? Ironic, She's outraged at institutional failings, yet her own standards falter. The usual hypocrisy. Fast forward to the Netflix series itself, where critics and viewers alike lambasted scenes for apparent kitchen hygiene horrors. In With Love, Meghan, Season 1, which bombed spectacularly, this one's wife was seen handling ingredients in ways that screamed amateur hour. It was highlighted that her poor hygiene practices in the kitchen, such as not washing hands visibly after touching raw items or prepping without proper sanitation. Viewers even threatened lawsuits over a bath salts recipe that allegedly burned skin. But the hygiene gripes were more insidious. It was a tone-deaf display of vacuous joylessness, where the aesthetics trump safety, because it's all about the image rather than the substance, how it looks rather than caring about the impact, because she has no emotional empathy. Then there's a herb, or herb, as our transatlantic cousins would say, handling fiasco from 2023, captured in social media outrage. During a public event, this one's wife was photographed touching edible herbs with her bejeweled hands, multiple diamond rings intact, no gloves in sight. Critics decried it as poor hygiene, questioning how someone so image-conscious could overlook contamination risks. Rings harbour bacteria, after all. Yet, within her narcissistic bubble, such details are beneath notice. It's entertaining to imagine her thought process. My diamonds are too dazzling to sully with gloves. Whispers of personal hygiene lapses add darker hues as well. For instance, there was the point that there was a foul smell that plagued her during her 2018 wedding to the Prince of Pink pancakes, with insiders hinting at poor personal habits. Many people have reported how bad this one's wife smells. One commenter has posted in the past, linking it to a lack of diligence in grooming. She's been described as filthy, that she and Harry have a lack of hygiene, and there's allegations of bad breath and body odour, citing anonymous sources from sets like Suits. A 2024 clip suggested that she has bad breath and how she ruined the red carpet look, tying it to her dictatorial demeanour that terrifies staff. It's been queried, is it that they have poor personal hygiene? They're not baseless. There's a repeated pattern which demonstrates that her entitlement breeds neglect. Even her unladylike bad habits, which she confessed on her now defunct blog, The Tig, hint at this. In 2018, she admitted to swearing, nail-biting and slouching. Minor, perhaps, but indicative of a rebel against royal polish. Cosmopolitan and Express covered the unladylike bad habits this one's wife wants to stop. Yet hygiene isn't just habits. It's respect for others. Narcissists like her, even a somatic one, view it as optional, a tool for control. Why bother with it when you can demand admiration regardless? That she is beyond the fact of being able to present herself in a clean way. And here we have another example of her flawed abilities when it comes to presentation, that lack of the keen eye for detail, the freakish eye for detail, the entitlement that she repeatedly exhibits. The buggy blunder is certainly damning. It's not just embarrassing, although she is never embarrassed, but revelatory. It again fractures her facade, exposing her narcissistic underbelly, where grandiosity binds her to flaws that would ordinarily repel the masses. As I have explained, there's the herb handling gaffes, kitchen sloppiness, odour rumours, and we see a pattern with this one's wife. It's the poor hygiene, both in regard to herself and around her, which is a byproduct of her narcissistic entitlement, a disdain for the diligence that others would demand. For a narcissist such as she doesn't care, because she is focused on what she thinks she's showing rather than attending to the details. And yet again she's been caught out, with a bug crawling around amidst the food that has been presented, resulting in the typical backlash and the collateral consequences of further threats to control. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.